the feds are investigating one of the largest drug busts in U.S. history.
In June 2019.
Hi and welcome to True Crime, a channel dedicated to the dark underworld of criminal activity carried out by gangsters, mobsters, cartel leaders, and others. In a shocking expose, we unravel the astonishing tale of how a Balkan drug cartel infiltrated global shipping networks. This riveting story uncovers the cartel's ability to exploit loopholes in the industry, utilizing hidden compartments, false manifests, and bribery to smuggle narcotics undetected. Get ready for an eye-opening journey like no other. In the sweltering summer of 2019, Claudio Bozzo embarked on a high-stakes mission to Washington, D.C. As the chief operating officer of MSC Mediterranean Shipping Co., he was sent by the enigmatic billionaire Gianluigi Apont to address a crisis that threatened to tarnish the company's reputation. Just months prior, MSC's ship, the Gain, had been intercepted at the port of Philadelphia, revealing a jaw-dropping discovery. Hidden within innocent containers of wine and nuts were a mind-boggling 20 tons of cocaine, valued at a staggering $1 billion. It was a maritime drug bust of unprecedented proportions, leaving authorities astounded. Delving into the investigation, it became apparent that this heinous crime wasn't an isolated incident. Law enforcement agencies had been monitoring MSC's vessels and crews for years. In fact, they had previously boarded and searched multiple MSC ships as part of a wider probe into an international cocaine trafficking network. The pieces of the puzzle were coming together, revealing a shocking truth. The powerful Balkan cartel had infiltrated MSC, using its manpower and vessels to construct a colossal cocaine smuggling empire. From Europe to the United States, the syndicate held sway over the majority of cocaine flowing into the continent. As Claudio Bozzo stood before U.S. Customs and Border Protection officials, he expressed remorse for the incident and emphasized the Apont family's commitment to responsible shipping. But the U.S. authorities were skeptical of MSC's claims of ignorance. They had long been aware of the cartel's presence within the company's ranks. The trail of evidence, gathered from previous shipboardings and intelligence operations, led them straight to the Balkan cartel. MSC, once seen as an innocent victim, now found itself entangled in a web of criminal activity. The seizure of the gang was just the tip of the iceberg, a shocking testament to the depth of the cartel's reach. It was a wake-up call for the shipping industry and a stark reminder that criminal enterprises could infiltrate even the most formidable global networks. As the investigation unfolded, the true scale of MSC's unwitting involvement in the illicit trade became apparent. The Apont family's shipping empire, once admired for its growth and influence, now faced scrutiny and questions of complicity. Behind the scenes, a secretive legal battle has unfolded between MSC and the U.S. government, hidden from public view. Government officials, speaking anonymously, reveal that customs authorities are pushing MSC to pay over $700 million in penalties through non-public administrative proceedings. Simultaneously, prosecutors from the U.S. Attorney's Office are preparing a civil case, arguing that MSC bears responsibility for the drug trafficking and must forfeit the gain or a significant portion of its value. MSC, however, disputes the government's version of events, asserting that it was a victim of traffickers, not a co-conspirator. Giles Broom, MSC's spokesperson, maintains that the company takes narco-trafficking seriously and has become an industry leader in anti-smuggling efforts. Yet, he emphasizes that MSC, as a civilian company, is not equipped to confront dangerous criminal groups. Bloomberg Businessweek's investigation, based on interviews with numerous sources, including law enforcement officials, sheds light on the complexities of MSC's situation. As the dominant player in roads connecting South America and Europe, particularly in transporting fresh produce, MSC became an attractive target for cocaine traffickers. European police had previously warned MSC of crew infiltrations, but executives' efforts to address the problem fell short, according to officials on both sides of the Atlantic. This has frustrated law enforcement and customs officials as global ports, particularly in Europe, are flooded with record amounts of cocaine. While U.S. prosecutors do not allege MSC's leadership involvement, they seek to understand the breakdowns in hiring and security protocols that enabled criminal organizations to control operations on MSC ships for an extended period. The case raises questions about accountability in the shipping industry, where fines for drug-related incidents are often negotiable and rarely imposed in Europe. With limited power to hold companies responsible, customs and law enforcement struggle to address the industry's entanglement in drug trafficking despite being a critical component of globalization. In the summer of 2019, the arrival of the gang in Philadelphia marked a turning point, exposing the dark underbelly of the shipping industry and the far-reaching consequences of drug smuggling. In the enigmatic world of Mediterranean Shipping Co., a veil of secrecy cloaks its inner workings, compelling curiosity and fascination. Unlike most major shipping companies, MSC is privately held and operates with an air of mystery. While their cruise line discloses annual results, their cargo business remains discreet about financial statements. Adding to the intrigue, MSC's founder, Jean-Louis Guillapont, owns a vast network of interconnected entities, overseeing diverse ventures such as ferry operators, shipping terminals, and even a private island. With a maritime heritage tracing back to the 17th century, Apont's family embodies a deep connection to the sea. Starting with modest beginnings and a visionary approach, MSC carved its path by acquiring and refurbishing second-hand container ships, prioritizing affordability over speedy delivery. However, beneath the company's success, a darker narrative unfolds, an investigation into organized crime's infiltration of shipping operations, raising questions and casting shadows on MSC's operations. In the wake of the expanded Panama Canal, MSC sought to capitalize on new shipping routes. They launched a route that took advantage of the canal's larger capacity, allowing their largest ships to transport fruits and vegetables from South America to Europe via stopovers in the Bahamas and Philadelphia. Port officials in Philadelphia dubbed it the Philadelphia Express, envisioning economic growth and the region becoming a major gateway for fresh produce on the East Coast. As MSC's container capacity tripled from South America's Pacific coast to Europe between 2016 and 2019, the company dominated almost half of all container capacity on those routes. However, the new routes inadvertently created opportunities for drug traffickers as well. Smugglers saw the advantage of hiding their illegal goods among the massive flow of legitimate cargo. European officials, alarmed by the surge of cocaine trafficking to the continent, started sharing information about seizures with their American counterparts. They discovered that some ships known for transporting cocaine to Europe were making brief stops in U.S. ports, including MSC ships passing through Philadelphia. This realization prompted the U.S. Department of Homeland Security's investigative arm, Homeland Security Investigations, to collaborate with European partners to analyze major cocaine busts. Investigations revealed that the cocaine entering Europe had shifted from South America's east coast to its west coast, originating from ports like Callao in Peru and Guayaquil in Ecuador. Initially, investigators suspected traditional smuggling methods, but they soon realized that the traffickers were employing a new tactic. Instead of hiding drugs alongside legitimate cargo, they were using Balken crew members on MSC cargo vessels to load the drugs at sea. HSI agents faced numerous challenges as they delved into the trafficking network. They boarded cargo vessels approaching Philadelphia, searching crew quarters, engine rooms, and even a ship's propeller shaft. While these searches didn't yield immediate results, they provided an opportunity to develop sources aboard the ships. Investigators worked tirelessly, tapping communications and cultivating informants until they finally gained the breakthrough they needed. Meanwhile, in Montenegro, Aleksandar Kavaja, a young seafarer working for MSC, found himself caught up in the drug trade. Kavaja had taken the job to support his family financially, but he wasn't passionate about sailing. As he prepared for his sixth journey aboard an MSC ship, he was approached by a man who knew his identity and family. The man offered Kavaja a choice: cooperate in the drug smuggling operation or risk the safety of his family. Pressured and enticed by a substantial payment, Kavaja reluctantly accepted. The investigation gained momentum after a major drug bust on another MSC ship, the Carlotta, which arrived in Newark, New Jersey, carrying 3,200 pounds of cocaine. Agents collected data from the ship's refrigerated containers, which revealed that some had been opened during the voyage. Further searches uncovered evidence of unauthorized equipment on board and alterations made to containers. The investigation now focused on MSC ships, including the Gayan, Avni, and Desiree, where crew members were suspected of participating in smuggling cocaine. On the night of June 2, 2019, as the Gayan sailed toward Philadelphia, Kavaja received a call on his narco phone. He was instructed to report to the upper deck, where other crew members and several men in ski masks awaited him. Bosko Markovic, the first officer, oversaw the operation, while Ivan Derasvik, the second mate, operated a small crane to hoist up nets filled with cocaine. The crew stashed the drugs inside containers, concealing their actions with counterfeit seals. Over several nights, the gang rendezvoused with speedboats off the coast of Peru, where more drugs were loaded onto the ship. The drugs were concealed in hidden compartments within containers, mixed with legitimate cargo to avoid detection. The crew members involved were careful not to attract suspicion and carried out their illicit activities during late-night hours. As the gang approached Philadelphia, HSI agents, armed with intelligence from European partners, were closely monitoring its movements. They had identified the ship as a key target in their investigation. The agents coordinated with local law enforcement and port authorities to execute a carefully planned operation to intercept the vessel. On June 17, 2019, as the gang docked at the Packer Avenue Marine Terminal in Philadelphia, law enforcement agents moved swiftly to seize the ship. More than 20 tons of cocaine, worth an estimated $1 billion, were discovered hidden within multiple containers on board. It was one of the largest drug busts in U.S. history. Simultaneously, agents apprehended several crew members, including Aleksandar Kavaja, Bosko Markovic, and Ivan Derasvik, who were directly involved in the smuggling operation. The authorities also identified additional crew members who had knowledge of the illicit activities, but were not active participants. The successful operation sent shockwaves through the drug trafficking network and highlighted the evolving tactics employed by traffickers. It also revealed vulnerabilities in maritime security that required greater attention and cooperation among international agencies to combat drug smuggling. The arrest and subsequent prosecution of those involved in the smuggling operation, including crew members and their associates, led to a series of trials and legal proceedings. The investigation also prompted scrutiny of MSC's operations and security protocols, leading the company to implement stricter measures to prevent future smuggling attempts on their vessels. Overall, the case of the MSC gang drug bust in Philadelphia highlighted the challenges faced by law enforcement agencies in combating maritime drug trafficking and the need for continued international cooperation to disrupt and dismantle such criminal networks. Thank you for watching another amazing video from our True Crime team. Like, comment, and subscribe, and stay tuned to our next real-life true crime video.